Hi everyone, it has been so long since I have been back to doing video. I'd probably say it's been about 2 years. So I am so excited to be back. I have better lighting, better equipment, and a better room, and so I am super hoping that I can give you guys better videos, better just overall product knowledge, everything, and to share my experiences with you. So I've had a few requests from a couple friends of mine to talk about my skincare routine. So until about a year ago, my skin has been perpetually dry, flaky, just downright terrible. It didn't matter how much coconut oil or how much moisturizer I had put on my skin, it was just like, no. Just last year got into an amazing routine that basically has changed my skincare forever. Thanks be to goodness. I would say that my skin is still dry, but I mean, it's not a 15 anymore. It's definitely, I would probably say like maybe a 6 out of 10, which to me is like a world of difference. So I would say the first product that really changed my skin to not being quite as dry is the Clarisonic. Now this is the Mia 2, and hopefully you guys can see this okay. So this is the Mia 2, and I use the sensitive brush head. Actually this might be the ultra sensitive, I don't remember exactly the categories. This one has 2 speeds. In the beginning my skin was so sensitive that I could really only use the lower speed, but now my skin isn't as sensitive, and so I can actually use a regular speed. So I use this once a day. I know they say that you're supposed to use it twice, but I started using it once a day, and I was using Clinique skincare at the time, and for some reason it just wasn't, I mean, it was great. I did see immediate changes, and it just kind of still stayed pretty dry. I mean, it was great. I still felt that the Clarisonic was really like helping the actual moisturization actually go into my skin versus sitting on top of my skin. So I would say I used that from like just November of like 2015 until the spring, and I still do use that every day, but in the spring I started changing my skin routine even more. So instead of going with Clinique, I thought, you know what, I'm not really liking all the changes that I see with Clinique, and bless their hearts, Clinique is, there's different products for everyone, and I'm just saying what I worked for me. So then I switched up my my cleanser to being Kate Somerville. Now I learned about Kate Somerville in Sephora, and this is her goat milk moisturizing cleanser. This has saved my skin. So another backstory real quick. I have milia, which is little hard keratin protein bumps. They look like pimples, but you can't pop them or squeeze them. So they basically are really, they're underneath like the deeper layers of the skin. So it's a lot harder to get rid of them. You have to go and get them like professionally removed. So I had a ton of those, and it was just heartbreaking. And I found that using certain products would make more appear, and I was like, oh no, this is not gonna work. So then it was just trial and error. I just kept trying, buying, returning, buying, whatever. Finally I came across Kate Somerville, and I was like, okay, here's hoping. Because the thing is that I didn't want to use a cleanser that would strip all the extra moisture out of my skin, because I was already dry. So this is amazing. It does not foam, and it is so gentle on the skin, and it keeps the amount of, like, how soft my skin is after I use this is unreal. I do use it with the Clarisonic, so this has been like a huge game changer for me. Next off, I wanted to start exfoliating my skin regularly, because up until this point, or up until last year, I wasn't really exfoliating my skin like at all. And I mean, I had previously in the past used like a sugar, coconut oil scrub. But I mean, I just felt like the grit, it was too intense for my skin, for my sensitive skin, the sugar. So then I came across, I loved Kate Somerville so much that I started using Exfolikate, which is like the regular one. It has a little bit of orange on. It looks the same as this, but it's orange instead of green. And then a lady at Sephora recommended to me that I should try the gentle Exfolikate because I was so sensitive. So I got this, and this is phenomenal. Not only did it make my pore sizes smaller, but it also did not dry me out, and it didn't hurt my skin. So this, like, to me, I would probably like not survive without either of those two. Now this one is a little bit more expensive. It's $65, but I've had it for probably, I would say, like 8 months now, and I'm only like not even half, probably I've just got halfway through it. So I mean, like, it's probably gonna last me a year. I don't even use like a pea size amount. Like I need less than that, and that's more than enough to cleanse the entire skin. So I use that. I would say I use that about a couple times a week. And then from there, I dry my face off, yada, yada, yada. Sometimes I do alternate with the Farmacy honey potion mask. Now I don't currently use this very often just because my skin, I feel like, hasn't been that dry that I don't need to. But in certain situations where I have a reaction or my skin is really dry and I just feel like it needs some extra help, I will go in with this honey potion. It's gorgeous. It smells like honey. There are no additives. You can't, I mean, I've already used quite a bit, so you can't quite fully see everything. But the Farmacy brand is amazing. They are really like farm to table. That's their philosophy. So I've fallen in love with their products, especially this one. It is just, it's called a renewing antioxidant hydration mask. So you just put it on, you leave it on for 20 minutes, and then you rinse off. So the feeling of it is really, really awesome, and the skin feels so great after it comes off. So I have used this. Currently I don't use it, but I feel like this has been also a very good tool in making my skin a little bit more normal. On to the next, I feel the 4 biggest products that have changed my skin is going to be Henriksen's Invigorating Night Treatment. Now, I have a lot of texture on my skin because of the milia, and so that's been really exhausting. So what this does is there are so many, what is it here now? Oh, it's gonna be on the box and it's not on here. So coming from exactly Sephora, it says this multitasking anti-aging serum is loaded with a concentrated multi-source AHA complex including glycolic and lactic acids. And then it says that down below, research in a consumer study on 35 women after 8 weeks, 100% of users agree that this product softens the skin, conditions skin, creates smoother skin, improves skin radiance, refines skin texture, and renews skin's appearance. I would say this is 100% true in all of those categories for me. So I was taking a sample for quite a while and I was just so obsessed with it. It does tingle a little bit, so I put this on after I wash my face or I'm finished with the mask, and I've been using it now for, I would say, a good 6 months, and honestly, like, I can't survive without this. It's amazing. After I put this on, I go in, it's with its basically counterpart, which is the Henriksen Invigorating Night Cream. This softens skin like nobody's business. I mean, like, this does an amazing job, and then you put them together and it's like honestly, it's an explosion of like soft skin. It's ridiculous. So I'm obsessed with both of these things. Now I find this does offer a little bit more moisturization, which in the winter time this is what I'm using, but I am also obsessed with the Sheer Transformation, also by Henriksen. This is not quite as thick, and I do use this because it's thinner. I use this in the summertime. This is my go-to, and I also use this in the morning as well. So these are like my power family, I guess you could say, right here. So before I put these moisturizer on, I do still use one item from Clinique, and that is a Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion. Now for some reason, I mean, in my mind, I see this as like the primer, a moisturizing primer, I guess you could say, because it's not just a moisturizer. And I remember my friend from Clinique being like, no, you have to have a moisturizer after this. So I was like, okay. This I find just really helps the moisturizer that I do put on afterwards sink in so much better. And if I don't use this, I feel like this doesn't even do half the job that it's supposed to do. So this is really fantastic. This does not make my milia, none of these products make my milia worse, which was I felt like it took me a really long time to get to that point. So another thing that has really truly transformed my skin, and I know that they say that, you know, if you want to have good skin, eat healthy, drink lots of water, all of those things. I mean, those are all true, don't get me wrong. But for my milia, it just seemed that no matter what I've researched on the internet about how to get rid of it, it was all like, oh, you have to have them manually extracted. And I'm like, I'm not paying $60 a month and like have someone stab my skin open and live like that for the rest of my life. Like, I really wanted to figure out what was causing it. And they're like, oh, it's genetic, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's not satisfactory to me. That's not the answer. I need to find something that's going on. So finally I came across one article, and this is like browsing through 8 pages of Google, trying to find something that would tell me more than just having, you know, to go get it taken care of. came across one article saying that if your body isn't alkaline enough, it can be linked to how much cholesterol your body is producing, and then therefore it's coming out in the form of hard protein in the skin, whatever. It was a while ago that I read that article. That may or may not be true, incorrect, or whatever. But I thought, you know what? I'm gonna give that a try. So I went and got greens, because greens help, if your body's too acidic, it can help alkalize the body. So I thought, you know what, I went into a health food store and I saw this one, because this one says alkalize and detox the body, and I thought, well, what hurts, right? So I just literally add this a little scoop into my shake every day. And I'm telling you, if I stop taking this for like a couple weeks, my symptom that I know that I'm getting a milia, little pimple, whatever you want to call it, a milia bump, is that my skin starts getting a little bit itchy in this spot, because it's like trying to poke through, so it's stretching the skin and I'll feel itchy. So if I stop taking this for like 3 weeks, forget it. I'll start getting milia. I'll start feeling itchy, like it hasn't quite fully appeared yet. And not to mention that this has helped me in many other ways as well, like more energy, just like a cleaner gut, like tons of those other things. So this is so huge in how I really feel like it's helped my skin. Another thing that I don't have here with me today is that I have also been taking collagen. I really think that collagen really helps transform the skin as well. And it's crazy, because I have people that are just like, oh my gosh, like what happened? Like your skin looks crazy now. And it's true. If I go back from a selfie and I'll find a picture, an unedited picture from like 2 years ago, and I'll post a side by side of how my skin looks then versus now, and you'll probably notice a big difference. The final product that I wanted to mention in terms of how my skin, how I think transform my skin, is going to be my foundation. This is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Water Foundation. Now, I was introduced into this at the same time as I was into Kate Somerville and Henriksen last year. I have been using this for exactly almost a year, since last April that I purchased, end of last March that I purchased this. And I honestly truly believe that this has transformed my skin even more. So it's a water foundation and it has a dropper on the inside. So this is technically categorized as a serum foundation. So because of it's a serum foundation, that means that there's skincare mixed in with all the other ingredients. So it's going to benefit the skin versus just sitting on top and covering and yada yada yada. So I really do think that wearing this a couple times a week for the last year has made my skin even better, which is crazy, because I've never experienced that from any other kind of foundation ever, basically. Out of any of the other foundations that I've ever worn, I've never experienced anything like that before. So I am a diehard fan of this product. If anybody has dry skin, I'm just like, you need to get this. 100%. Now I know some people who are not dry skin and they still love this too. They don't mind the dewy look, because it is a dewy foundation. And you really don't need a whole lot of this. Like I have probably gone through, I mean, I do wear quite a bit of it, so I mean that takes into consideration, but I think I've gone through like, I mean, I switch between 2 shades. This does not have my perfect shade for me, but I'm not gonna mix foundations, so it's fine. I would say that I've probably gone through like 4 bottles. 4, including 2 that I have right now that are pretty much at the same usage, because I rotate through shades. So yes, this has been a huge game changer for me. I think another thing too is that at the end of the day, I remove my makeup with a wipe, and I also Clarisonic right after. And there are days where some people are like, well, maybe it's because you don't wear that much foundation, or maybe it's because you don't wear it for like very long days every day. There are times where I go 16 hours with foundation on, and yeah, my face is like, get it off, like, bleh, get it off, it feels terrible. So I have done that, and it hasn't made a difference. Like, as long as I clean my skin and I moisturize at the end of the day, that is definitely what matters the most. So I would say, like, as long as you're using the right product for your skin, you're actively have a skincare routine. Like there are some days where, like last night I didn't wash my face, but it was like midnight and I literally could not keep my eyes open. I didn't have any makeup on though, so I hadn't worn any makeup throughout the day. And I just went to bed. But that rarely happens. And if I do, I get up and I wash my face right away. So for me, my skincare routine is night, remove makeup, Clarisonic, exfoliate, serum, moisturizers, like making sure that those like moisture, and then I'm using the products to target the skincare concern that I have, which to me first and foremost was texture. I still have a couple dark spots and hyperpigmentation, but they don't bother me because I'm just like, whatever, like they really don't bother me. I do use SPF in the summertime, a spray because I find that the creams tend to irritate my milia, a natural spray, just to help prevent them from getting darker for more to appear. But right now, my biggest concern, which was skin texture, I feel like has gone down significantly. And I mean, you guys might notice too, for those who used to watch me like 2 years ago, you might notice a big difference in my skin as well. And if you do, let me know. If you guys have any questions, I'll link all the information to these products down below. If you have a skin concern, what is it? Like, what is bothering you? How can I help you? So I guess what I want to try and say, and I know we did a snap on this a couple days ago where I was just like, my skin has gone from super dry to almost normal now, which is it is such a big deal to me. Like, it is such a big deal because I never thought that that would ever happen, and now it's finally happening. Like, to me, it's pretty much almost the equivalent of a miracle. And a lot of these products are a little bit more on the higher end, but to me, now that I've gotten to the point where I am so happy with my skin, it has been so worth it. So worth it, 110% to get the right products that work for you. Now, yes, it is trial and error, and yes, it can be frustrating, but I mean, girl, you gotta have good skin. Like, I mean, you just gotta take care of it. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about next. I am super excited to get back on doing these videos, and hopefully to make one a week, and I can get them up rolling for you guys. I'm so excited because I feel like I've learned so much in the past 2 years, and I feel like my whole like makeup application techniques and stuff like that has changed, and I use a lot of different products now, and I know what works for my skin and what doesn't, and I'm super excited to share that with you guys. So please let me know what you want to hear from me next, and I will share. Well, I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Oh baby, come here. Hello. You're gonna say hi. Are you gonna say hi? Look how cute you are. Yes. Are you sweet? Oh, look.